Have you ever caught your reflection in the mirror and wondered if the years have dimmed the spark that once turned heads? It's a natural thought, one that many of us ponder as we move through life. But let me tell you something you might be far more attractive than you realize. Attractiveness isn't just about youth. It isn't measured by a full head of hair or a chiseled jawline. True attraction is deeper. It is built over time through wisdom, confidence, and the way you carry yourself. It's in the way people look at you when you enter a room, the way they listen when you speak, and the respect you naturally command without even trying. In today's video, we're going to uncover the signs that prove you are an attractive older man, whether or not you've ever thought of yourself that way. These signs go beyond physical appearance. They touch on the essence of who you are, what you've learned, and the quiet strength you bring into the world. And by the time we're done, you may just look at yourself in an entirely new light. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to thank you for being here. If this conversation resonates with you, if you find value in it, I encourage you to subscribe to Graceful Elderly, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us continue creating content that speaks to the heart, reminding us all of the beauty in every stage of life. Now, let's begin. 1. People seek your advice and respect your opinion. Have you ever noticed that others naturally turn to you for guidance? Perhaps a younger colleague asks for career advice, or a friend confides in you during tough times. Maybe even strangers, without realizing why, seem drawn to your presence. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a sign of something deeper. Over the years, you have cultivated wisdom, and wisdom is attractive. People recognize it in the way you carry yourself, in your calm demeanor, and in the steady confidence that comes from experience. Women, in particular, are drawn to men who exude reliability and emotional intelligence. Unlike the fleeting excitement of youthful energy, your appeal is rooted in something much more lasting: stability, reassurance, and depth. Think about a man like Richard, 67. He never considered himself especially handsome. Yet, at gatherings, he noticed something interesting. People sought him out, not just for small talk, but for meaningful conversations. Women lingered a little longer when speaking with him, and younger men often asked for his perspective. He didn't force these interactions. They happened naturally. What Richard didn't realize was that he had something many younger men lacked: an air of trustworthiness. He didn't need to prove himself. He simply was. And that quiet confidence made him magnetic. So, if you find yourself being the person others turn to, don't take it lightly. It's one of the strongest indicators of attraction, one that speaks far louder than words. 2. You receive compliments on your style and grooming. A well-dressed man stands out at any age. But for an older gentleman, style isn't just about looking good. It's about carrying oneself with dignity and grace. If people regularly compliment your attire, your grooming, or even the way you walk into a room, it's not just about your clothes. It's about the impression you leave. Many men develop their own distinct style as they age, a signature look that reflects confidence and self-respect. A tailored blazer, polished shoes, or even the way you keep your beard neatly trimmed. These small details signal to the world that you care. And people notice, especially women. Take Robert, for example. At 68, he didn't think much about his looks, but he started noticing a pattern. Whether at the grocery store or a family gathering, women often commented on how well groomed he looked. At first, he brushed it off as politeness. But over time, he realized that these weren't just empty remarks. They were a response to the way he carried himself. Style isn't about following trends. It's about wearing what makes you feel good and wearing it with confidence. A man who takes the time to dress well isn't just showing that he values his appearance, he's showing that he values himself. And that, my friends, is deeply attractive. 3. Women hold eye contact with you longer than usual. They say that the eyes are the windows to the soul. And sometimes they reveal more than words ever could. One of the strongest indicators that you are an attractive older man is the way women look at you. Have you ever noticed that a woman holds your gaze just a little longer than necessary? That she looks at you, glances away, then looks back again? This isn't by accident. A lingering glance is often a subconscious sign of admiration, curiosity, or even interest. Women, especially those who are more reserved, don't always express attraction with words. Instead, they communicate through body language, subtle but powerful signals that speak volumes. Think about the last time you were in a public setting. Maybe at a bookstore, a park, or a cafe. You caught someone's gaze, and for just a second, it lasted longer than expected. That moment of hesitation, the slight pause before she looked away, it says a lot. It's a natural reaction when someone finds another person intriguing, but doesn't want to be too obvious about it. Let's consider Charles, 72. He never thought of himself as particularly handsome. But one day, while enjoying a quiet afternoon at a bookstore, he caught a younger woman looking at him. At first, he thought nothing of it. But then, it happened again. She held her gaze for just a second too long before smiling faintly and turning back to her book. What Charles didn't realize was that his presence had made an impression. It wasn't just curiosity, she was intrigued. Women, regardless of age, appreciate a man who is comfortable in his own skin. A man who doesn't chase attention, but naturally commands it. If you've ever noticed women looking at you this way, don't dismiss it. It may just be the clearest sign yet that you are more attractive than you think. 4. People naturally gravitate toward you. Have you ever walked into a room and felt a subtle shift in energy? Maybe people look in your direction more often than not. Perhaps conversations flow easily when you're around. This isn't about being loud or demanding attention. It's about presence. An attractive man isn't just someone with strong features or a full head of hair. He is someone who carries himself with quiet confidence. He moves through life with ease, knowing who he is and what he stands for, and that, my friend, is magnetic. People, especially women, enjoy being around a man who makes them feel comfortable. Someone who listens, who engages in conversation, and who carries himself with a relaxed assurance. If you've ever had someone tell you they feel at ease around you, even if they barely know you, take it as a sign. It's not a coincidence. It's a reflection of your quiet appeal. At the end of the day, attraction isn't about youth, it's about presence. And if you've recognized any of these signs in yourself, know this: you have a timeless charm that will never fade. What do you think? Have you noticed these signs in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this conversation resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to Graceful Elderly, like this video, and be part of our growing community of remarkable individuals embracing the beauty of every stage of life. Stay with us, we have so much more to explore in the next part. As we continue our journey into understanding the unique and timeless appeal of older men, let's take a moment to reflect. The first part of our discussion revealed how wisdom, confidence, and the way you carry yourself shape how others perceive you. It's not just about physical appearance, it's about presence, experience, and an aura of quiet strength. Now, let's dive even deeper. What are the other subtle but undeniable signs that you are, in fact, an attractive older man? 5. You have a confident, relaxed presence. Have you ever noticed that when you walk into a room, people seem to naturally adjust to your energy? Conversations pause for just a brief moment. People turn to acknowledge your presence, and somehow, Without even trying, you command quiet respect. This isn't about being loud, flashy, or demanding attention. It's about the kind of confidence that only comes with time, the kind that younger men are still chasing. You've lived, you've learned, and you're comfortable in your own skin. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, and that effortless confidence is magnetic. Think about the men who truly stand out, not because they are the loudest in the room, but because they are the most composed. They speak with certainty. They move with purpose, and they don't feel the need to impress. Take someone like George, 74. He never raised his voice to get attention. He never felt the need to dress extravagantly or seek validation from others. And yet, everywhere he went, people naturally gravitated toward him. When he spoke, people listened. When he entered a space, there was an undeniable sense of respect. Not because he demanded it, but because he carried himself in a way that invited it. Women noticed this kind of energy too. A man who is at peace with himself, who is relaxed and confident, becomes incredibly attractive. So, if you've ever wondered why people seem comfortable around you, why women feel at ease in your presence, or why you don't have to work hard to earn respect, the answer is simply you exude confidence in a way that is rare and deeply appealing. 6. People compliment your physical condition more than you realize. Attraction isn't just about youth, it's about vitality. And vitality isn't determined by age, but by how well you take care of yourself. If people, especially women, have ever commented on your energy, your posture, or even casually mentioned how strong or fit you look, it's a clear sign that they're noticing something special. You don't need to have a six-pack or the physique of a 30-year-old to be attractive. What truly matters is how you move, how you carry yourself, and the effort you put into maintaining your health. Consider Thomas, 69. He never saw himself as particularly athletic, but he always stayed active. A morning walk, some light stretching, and a generally healthy lifestyle kept him moving with ease. One day, a woman in her 50s casually told him, "I hope I have as much energy as you when I reach your age." At first, he thought nothing of it, but as time went on, he started to notice a pattern. Women would comment on his posture, his handshake, or the way he seemed so full of life. It wasn't about looking young, it was about exuding vitality. People, especially women, are drawn to men who take care of themselves. It shows discipline, self-respect, and a zest for life. So, if you've ever been told that you look strong, that you seem active, or that you have a certain energy about you, don't brush it off. It's one of the clearest signs that you are an attractive older man, even if you don't realize it. 7. Women laugh at your jokes. Even the corny one. Humor is one of the most underrated, yet powerful, indicators of attraction. If women laugh at your jokes, even the ones you know are corny, that's a clear sign they enjoy your presence. Laughter isn't just about finding something funny. It's a social response, a way of forming connections. If a woman laughs at your jokes, even the simple ones, it's not just about the joke itself, it's about how she feels around you. Think about a time when you told a lighthearted joke in conversation. Maybe it was an old-fashioned dad joke, something simple, even predictable. But instead of rolling her eyes, she laughed. Maybe she even leaned in a little closer. Maybe she touched your arm as she chuckled. Maybe she responded with an amused shake of the head, but with a warm smile. Consider Henry, 73. He had a habit of making harmless, light-hearted jokes. At first, he thought nothing of it, but he started noticing something. Women laughed at his jokes more often than not. At first, he assumed they were just being polite, but over time, he realized something deeper was happening. Women engaged with him, lingered in conversation, and seemed genuinely delighted by his presence. What Henry didn't realize was that his humor wasn't just entertaining, it was creating a bond. Women appreciate a man who can make them laugh, who can create a light, enjoyable atmosphere without trying too hard. This doesn't mean you have to be a stand-up comedian. It's not about delivering the perfect punchline. It's about being yourself, sharing joy, and making someone feel good in your presence. So, if you've noticed that women respond positively to your humor, even when it's simple or lighthearted, take it as a sign. They enjoy being around you. They feel comfortable. And on some level, they find you attractive. Have you ever had someone, maybe even a stranger, open up to you about their personal struggles, their dreams, or their fears? This isn't just about being a good listener. It's about the energy you project. Trust is attractive. A man who carries himself with dignity, who listens without judgment, who exudes a sense of security. These qualities make people feel safe. And feeling safe is one of the most attractive feelings in the world. Women, in particular, are drawn to men who make them feel heard, respected, and valued. They may not always say it out loud, but if a woman feels comfortable sharing her thoughts with you, it means something. This level of trust isn't given to just anyone. It's reserved for those who have a presence that is steady, calming, and undeniably attractive. So, if people, especially women, find comfort in your presence, if they trust you with their thoughts, if they linger in conversation, if they seem at ease around you, take it as a sign. It's not just your kindness that's drawing them in. It's your presence, your wisdom, and the quiet strength that makes you stand out. Attractiveness isn't about chasing youth. It's about embracing who you are, your confidence, your presence, your wisdom. You have qualities that younger men simply can't replicate. Experience, self-assurance, and the ability to make others feel comfortable in your presence. If you've recognized any of these signs in yourself, I hope you see your reflection differently now. Because the truth is, you are attractive in ways you may have never fully realized. What do you think? Have you noticed these signs in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Graceful Elderly, like this video, and be part of a community that celebrates the beauty of every stage of life. Attraction is often misunderstood. Many believe it fades with age, that it belongs only to the young, but the truth is quite the opposite. Real attraction, the kind that lingers in a person's mind and heart, is not just about appearances. It's about presence, wisdom, and the way you make others feel when they are around you. One of the clearest signs that you are an attractive older man is the effortless way people gravitate toward you. You may have noticed that younger men admire you, seeking your guidance not because they have to, but because they respect you. Women engage with you in conversation longer than expected, not out of politeness, but because there is something about your presence that feels safe, steady, and intriguing. Perhaps you've caught the way people pause when you speak, their attention focused on your words. It isn't just what you say, it's how you say it. The confidence in your voice, the certainty in your experiences, the calmness that reassures without demanding. That is a kind of attraction that no fleeting beauty can compete with. There's also the way you carry yourself. You may not think much about it, but your posture, your stride, the way you hold eye contact, these small but powerful actions speak volumes. A man who moves with intention, who stands tall without arrogance, exudes a presence that others notice, even if they can't quite explain why. And then there's your ability to listen. Younger men may try to impress with grand gestures or loud voices, but you've learned that true power lies in understanding. When someone speaks to you, they don't feel dismissed or rushed. They feel heard. And in a world where so many crave validation, the ability to make another person feel truly seen is one of the most attractive qualities of all. Some men spend their younger years trying to prove themselves. But as you age, you realize you don't need to. Your life experiences, your stories, the lessons you've learned, they speak for themselves. There is a quiet strength in a man who knows who he is, And that strength is impossible to ignore. So, if you've ever doubted your own appeal, if you've wondered whether your presence still holds weight, look at the way people respond to you. Attraction isn't just about who turns their head when you walk by. It's about who lingers, who listens, who feels drawn to you without even realizing why. You have a charm that goes beyond the surface, a magnetism that isn't fleeting, but lasting. And that, more than anything, is what makes you undeniably attractive. As we bring this discussion to a close, take a moment to reflect on everything we've uncovered. Attraction is not something that disappears with age. Rather, it evolves into something deeper, richer, and more meaningful. The qualities that make you stand out now are not the same as they were in your youth, but they are far more powerful. There is an undeniable elegance in a man who has lived, learned, and embraced every chapter of his journey. The years have shaped you, not just in appearance, but in wisdom, character, and the way you move through the world. That is why people are drawn to you, why they respect you, and why, whether you realize it or not, you still carry an incredible presence. Perhaps you've noticed the way younger generations look to you for advice, how your words hold weight in conversations, or how your presence alone can shift the energy in a room. These are not random occurrences, they are reflections of the strength and assurance you have built over time. Women, too, notice. Unlike younger men, who often chase attention, you don't seek validation. You don't need to. That quiet confidence, the ability to be comfortable in your own skin without needing to prove anything, is incredibly appealing. You understand the value of patience, the power of listening, and the importance of making others feel at ease. And let's not forget the little things: how you carry yourself, the way you dress, the effort you put into maintaining your well-being. These are signs of self-respect, and nothing is more attractive than a man who values himself. The way you stand, the way you walk, the way you engage in conversation, these small details create an unspoken message that others pick up on, even when you don't see it yourself. Think about the men you've admired throughout your life. Chances are, it wasn't just their looks that made them stand out, it was the way they held themselves, the way they commanded a room without needing to dominate it. They exuded strength, but not arrogance, confidence, but not desperation. That is what true attraction looks like, and whether you recognize it or not, you carry that same presence. Society often pushes the idea that youth is the pinnacle of attraction, but real life tells a different story. There is something profoundly captivating about a man who has lived through ups and downs, who has learned from experience, and who embraces himself fully. That kind of depth cannot be replicated by youth. So, if you've ever doubted your own appeal, if you've ever questioned whether you still hold that charm you once had, let this be a reminder. Attraction isn't about age, it's about presence. It's about confidence. It's about the way you make others feel when they are around you. You don't need to change a thing to be attractive. You simply need to recognize the qualities you already possess. Because the truth is, you are more compelling, more distinguished, and more magnetic than you have ever been. Embrace it, own it, and walk through life knowing that your best years are not behind you, but right here, in this very moment.